Hello Summoners, welcome to MainDeck Masters, and today is a very special day because not only do you get to see my ugly mug, but we have a Skadi list for you. Yes, we've been trying to make Skadi work. I know a lot of people have been trying to make Skadi work, but I think we figured it out. This list isn't the best. It's not hyper competitive, but it's so much fun, and once you get your opponent in that Skadi loop, it just kind of derails the entire game, and there's really not much that they can do to come back from it. So looking at the list, we've got Smag in this list. We've got Beldegor and Matengol for that ramp without having to attack your opponent. We've got Scope Owls to exhaust things out. We've got the Alron Sanctuary combo for that extra ramp, plus Alron is just a defensive wall. We have Allegro and Raphael in the deck, just because they are blue and yellow cards that we can pick up from 6 Aegis Emperor K, and K is going to be an integral part of this deck. Then, of course, we have the Turborex and Skadi, and the entire point of this deck is to, of course, ramp with your Matengol, your Smag, and your Alron to get enough cards to be able to play that Skadi down. Then we want to get Turborex and Skadi on the board at the same time, and then put your Soul Core on something that you don't really care about, maybe your Alron, maybe a Scope Owl, or your Smag, just anything like that, and do not do anything with that spirit that has the Soul Core on it. Don't attack with it, or anything like that, because your opponent's going to have to target that spirit. If it's too big to be targeted with something like Volcanic Break or anything like that, or even Floodstream, they can't destroy it, so they can't start targeting your other things. And the whole idea of this is, now that Skadi and Turborex are on the board, it forces your opponent to attack because Turborex is on the board. So you say, hey, you have to attack with this. So they attack with that, and then you throw down your Scope Owl to exhaust their stuff out. You throw down one of your 4 Thorn Prisons to exhaust their stuff out. And then at the end of the turn, Skadi is going to bounce their entire field. Now we are able to get through our deck with the combination of Strong Draw and Starblessed Draw. We can ditch key pieces with Strong Draw and then pick them back up later with K. So ditching a Skadi or a Turborex isn't that detrimental because you can just pick it right back up later with K. Then, of course, we have the 4 Thorn Prison to exhaust our opponents out to bounce their field. We've got some Burning Force just for a little bit of early game removal of Nexus or Weenie Spirits, and 3 Dream Bomb just to be able to continue that defensive play. Then in the sideboard, we do have 3 Black Lance, because Black Lance turns out is just a really good card. Even if you pay all 6 for it, you're going to have the cores in this deck to draw 2 cards to continue going through your deck. We have 1 Mammoth Aegis in order to put ourselves back to 2 life if we let ourselves go down to 1, or to just, heal a life and ramp a card. We do have a Truth God Mandala, and the Truth God Mandala, so if you are able to set up that wall, but you yourself are not able to break through your opponent, then you can just start dropping Mandalas on your opponent, paying the core off of the Mandala to put it in the trash, and then dropping a K to pick that Mandala back up. Then we have 2 Infinity Mothership. The entire point of Mothership is to get our cores back into the reserve at the beginning of our opponent's attack step, so we can play out our Scope Owls and stuff like that after we're spending so many cores on dropping a Skadi or a K or anything like that, and suppression just for some extra defense. Now, the deck itself has changed a bit since we recorded this video. We have since cut the Allegro, we have cut the Raphael, and we've added an additional K because 3K is really good. And we have added all 3 Black Lance into the main board. I do believe we've cut like a Scope Owl, and I'm not entirely sure, maybe one of the Starblessed Draw. And then the Infinity Mothership has gone main in place of the Rocket City, just because getting those cores back are very important. And a lot of people are playing, if you're not in red, most people are playing Ferraro Slash as their Nexus destruction of choice, and Infinity Mothership cannot be destroyed by Ferraro Slash. So the Black Lance has come into the main board. Allegro and Raphael have been cut. They were fun, and you can pick them up off of K and everything like that, but they're really not important to the overall strategy of the deck. They just kind of clunked it up a little bit, but it doesn't really end up being relevant here in today's video. I'm not entirely sure how the sideboard has changed since. I do believe an extra Mandala has been put in, maybe another Aegis, but you can change that up as you will. If you want to try this deck out, it's so much fun. for you, not for your opponent. If you're able to get the Skadi Turborex wall down, your opponent is not going to have a good time. And the deck that it is playing against here is Serpent Meduke, of course. Now, this is kind of a meme Serpent Meduke list. You have your basic Meduke list with Shaznake, Beldy, Assassin, Lamorak, Bodice, Black Lance, Viper Dragon, and Meduke. But you do see here, you may be asking, Jacob, why are there 2 Lightning Aura in this deck? I asked the same question. I was like, hey, I've got 2 slots left. What should I put in? And my friends were like, why don't you throw in Lightning Aura? And I was like, why? And they said, because it's funny. So that's good enough for me. I threw it in. Play something else, maybe play some more spirits, play another Thorn Prison, play another Core Drain main, something like that. Do not play the Lightning Aura. It's not good. It is not good. You just want to attack their rested spirits with a Viper Dragon on the field. The Lightning Aura doesn't do anything. Don't play it. Other than that, we've got a side deck of your typical back drag package. We do have a Pinnacles in here. There is a Guinevere in the deck because I love Guinevere and I want to make her work no matter what. And we're just having fun here. We have an additional Core Drain, some Suppression, and Thorn Prison here in the side. A typical purple sideboard. And this is the Serpent Meduke list that is going up against the Skadi list. This match is going to be super hype. So much crazy stuff happens in it, so I hope you all enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below letting us know if you like this sort of intro. I'm trying something new with me talking about the decks before we get into the gameplay, or if you just want to get straight into the gameplay with me talking very briefly about the decks. Without further ado, let's get into the matches. Alright, so in this match, we have David on the left playing the Skadi Turbo build, and Izzy on the right playing the Meduke Serpents build. David starts us off with a strong draw, ditching a Beldegor and a Skadi. That Beldegor is going to be great for Beldy loops later, and that Skadi in the drop ready to be picked up by a K whenever he draws it. Pass on over to Izzy, who places a card in the burst zone. It does look like he placed an Ice Shield into the burst zone. A little early for an Ice Shield, but I think Izzy just wants to be safe. He's going to go ahead and play out a Beldegor and swing at David, putting David down to 4. Gonna pass on over. David does draw a Starblessed draw, and we see him immediately throw that into the burst zone. Gonna pay 3 for the Rocket City, putting 2 cores on it, so if Izzy wants to draw, he's going to be taxed for it, unless he's able to draw into a Ferraro Slash and get rid of that Rocket City. See what Izzy decides to do here. He's got 5 cores to work with, but he's going to do nothing. He's going to just swing with that Beldegor. I don't know about that. Maybe just core up the Beldegor. We do see a Viper Dragon in his hand, but David drops down the Matangol. He's going to rest it and ramp a core onto it, so David is starting the ramp. We do see a Beam Rifle in Izzy's hand. I think he just drew another Beldegor. And I think he's going to be paying for that Beldegor now. He pays 3, 4, 5. Okay, he's going to go ahead and drop down the Viper Dragon. He's like, okay, let's get this Viper Dragon onto the field. He's going to swing with that Beldegor. David's going to take the damage going to 2. And he's going to Dream Bomb that Viper Dragon. All right, well, the Viper Dragon is back in hand. I think I honestly would have rather seen a second Belly come down on that Matangol, so David just doesn't have the Spirit on them. Exactly, so David throws down the Turborex, and now he's got the Turborex on field, and if Izzy would have thrown that Beldegor down to destroy the Matangol, then the Turborex would not be on the field right now. As a result, David is able to swing with that Rex and pick that Beldegor that's on the field up into Izzy's hand. So now Izzy has absolutely nothing on the field, and that's going to put him in a pretty bad spot. And he's going to play right into the Starblessed draw, it looks like, with the Beldegor. And David is going to flip up the Starblessed, and he does have the cores to pay for the Starblessed. Let's see if he decides to do it. He only needs 2 cores on Turborex to make it an AK, but he's not going to pay the cores. He wants to keep those cores on his Rocket City. So Izzy's not able to really get any good draw effects out. So he's going to play down another Beldegor, and then he's going to Deadly Balance. Okay, so we do get rid of the Turborex here, so there's a Turborex and a Skadi in the drop. So if David wants to pick, one of them up, he's going to have to pick up one or the other unless he draws into one, because he's only running 2 of each in his deck. So the Beldegor comes swinging, and David uses a second Dream Bomb to pick up that Beldegor. All right, we do see the Emerald Sanctuary come down from David, and another Matangol going to rest and ramp a core onto itself. Does he have the Alron in hand? That's the question. I think that's a Scope Owl in his hand. I do not believe it's an Alron. So he is just going to core up that Emerald Sanctuary and pass on over to Izzy. See what Izzy's able to do. He does draw a Dragonaga Assassin, which is a good draw. You know, being able to draw Ditch here is pretty decent, but I do think that he should be dropping that Beldy onto that Matangol. So if David has another Turborex in his hand, he's not able to ascend on that Turborex, and that he does exactly that. He drops the Beldegor. We do see the Lightning Aura in hand. Unfortunately, I don't, you know, Lightning Aura is not the greatest card right now in the deck. It could, like I said, it could be just about anything else, but we wanted to have some fun. So Izzy is going to core up that Dragonaga Assassin. He does need one more core, which he does play on the Dragonaga Assassin. So he's going to swing, he's going to draw and ditch. He draws another Dragonaga Assassin, and he's going to ditch a Lightning Aura. Not really very useful right now in his hand. And then David is going to flash out that Scope Owl. That Scope Owl will guard at 4K because of the Rocket City. So let's see what Izzy decides to do. What's he do? He's paying 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to flash the Thorn Prison. I don't know about this play. Just let the Dragonaga Assassin die. It, you know, destroyed the Scope Owl, because now David has that Scope Owl on the field for future plays. It's also a potential ascend target for the Turborex, but we do see the K in David's hand, and he is going to drop it. He's going to go ahead and pay 7 for that K, and he's going to pick up... He's got a white, a purple, and a green card to pick up, so he's going to grab the Beldegor. I do believe he's going to grab the Skadi, a Matangol. Is he going to grab the Skadi or the Turborex? Let's see what he decides to do. Yeah, it looks like he grabs the Skadi. He wants that Skadi in hand so he can throw it down on the field. It doesn't require Ascend or anything like that, so he can just keep the Skadi. And he's going to level up K to level 3, and that K is going to be able to destroy that Dragonaga Assassin, since that Assassin is a 1K right now. So in this instance, Izzy would have no spirits, but David wouldn't have that Scope Owl on defense if you would have just allowed the Dragonaga Assassin to destroy the Scope Owl instead of paying cores off of it. His Beldegor would die, but there would only be one spirit on David's side of it. So let's see what he decides to do here. He does have a Core Theft and a Deadly Balance in hand. So he's going to, it looks like he's getting ready to play the Deadly Balance. He does play the Deadly Balance. Let's see which spirit David destroys. He does destroy the K. And is he just going to pay for the Core Theft? That's a good question. No, it looks like he's paying 3. And he's going to bring out another... Nope, he does pay 4 for the Core Theft. And he's going to drop a Black Lance to kill the Scope Owl. I don't know about that. I'm not too sure about that play, but, you know, it is what it is. He is going to play out the Dragonaga Assassin as well. And it gets Dream Bomb. That's all 3 Dream Bombs. You know, David's at 1 life, so he's like, I've got to be able to defend against this. And he had the Dream Bomb. So that Matangol comes down again, and David is going to ramp off of that Matangol. I'm not entirely sure about the Deadly into the Core Theft play, because David's got the Skadi out now, and that Skadi is he going to core it up? That's the question. Is he going to core up the Skadi and take the cores off the Rocket City? I honestly would. I just put that Skadi to level 3. And he does not. He does not put the Skadi to level 3. Does he want to... He has a Scope Owl in hand, so... And he needs 1 more core in reserve in order to play that Scope Owl. But the Dragonaga Assassin does come down once again on Izzy's side. He's going to pay 5. Probably that Viper Dragon's coming back down. Yes, the Viper Dragon's coming. He does have a Ferraro Slash in hand, so he could have... This Dragonaga Assassin does not have Curse. Notably, the Dragonog Assassin does not have Curse. He's attacking the Matangol, I think? But the Matangol blocks for 2k. But, okay, the Thorn Prison comes down on the Viper Dragon. And David's going to block with Skadi. Why not just give the Dragonog Assassin Curse? Why would we not put it at level 2 and give it Curse? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, Izzy is not a purple player. Let me remind everybody, or let everybody know, Izzy is not a purple player. We do have the Beldegor coming down on David's side. The double Beldegor. So Izzy's not, he's a white player, so he's not the most in tune with how purple works. So this could just be him having not as much knowledge about how purple really works in order to, you know, play the deck to the best of its abilities. So he's going to take damage going back down to 2 and flip the Ice Shield. So let's not roast Izzy too much in the comments about these plays because, like I said, he is not a purple player. But I would like to see that For All Slash come down on that Rocket City just so he can start drawing. So is he going to pay the 4 for the For All Slash? It looks like he's counting his 4s, and yes, he's going to pay the 4, I do believe, for the For All Slash on that Rocket City. And then does he have the cores for the, yes, he has the cores for the Black Lance. He's going to pay 5, putting 3 cores on it at level 2, and so he's going to be able to draw 2 more cards. And let's see, he does get a Shaz Snake, and I think a Lamorak. So we do get the Shaz Snake coming down, but that Shaz Snake does not have Curse. This Black Lance, however, does, so he can swing at the Matangol, because he can only swing at the Matangol right now because it has the Soul Core on it. Skadi is protecting herself because Matangol has the Soul Core on it. So let's see what we've got going on. The Matangol is going to be destroyed, and then the Viper Dragon, I do believe, is he attacking the Skadi with it? I think he wants to kill, no, he's just attacking straight up. And the Beldegor is going to be destroyed, and I do believe there's going to be a Scope Owl coming down. Yes, there is the Scope Owl coming down, and that Shaz Snake does not have Curse. So the Shaz Snake will be destroyed, and he should be drawing a card, but he's going to get everything lifted right now, and he no longer has a field, and then two swings, and Izzy loses that game. I really think that he should have attacked the Skadi with his Viper Dragon after destroying the Matangol, so he didn't lose his field. Regardless, I think that was just a losing game. He had no defense, really. Anyway, we are in Game 2, and the players did side for Game 2. And we do have a Rotting Swamp coming down on Izzy's side, and then the Infinity Mothership over here on David's side. He did side in the Mothership, and that Mothership is so annoying, especially if you're running Feral Slash instead of Burning Forest as your Nexus Destruction of choice, because Feral Slash cannot destroy it. You have the Dark Knight Lamorak coming down on Izzy's side, and he's just going to swing with it as a 2k. Let's see if David, he just goes down to 4 HP or 4 life. The Rotting is going to help Izzy because he's going to be able to draw off of this Rotting Swamp and get more cards in hand, so that is pretty good for him. But this Infinity Mothership is going to be an absolute nightmare, honestly, for Izzy, because David's just going to continuously refresh his cores at the beginning of Izzy's attack step. We do have the Rocket City coming down as well, so all of his spirits will be drawing for, or defending for 1k more each time they defend. However, most of Izzy's spirits have Curse, so it's not going to really matter anyway. It does look like Izzy's trying to play another Lamorak. Okay, he does play the second Lamorak, and does he core up one of those Lamaraks? You see a Dream Bomb in Izzy's hand, and he does not core up the Lamaraks. Why not? Why are we not coring up the Lamaraks? Because the Scope Owl comes down, and the Scope Owl is going to guard for 3k. No, it's going to guard for 4k, and it's going to guard over that Lamorak. So, I mean, maybe he just wants to draw off of the Rotting Swamp, so he didn't core it up. That could be a play. He just wants to draw. He does draw a Viper Dragon. And then the Scope Owl is going to exhaust the other Lamorak. Oh, no, it's not. It has to die to exhaust the other Lamorak. I'm dumb. You don't listen to me. So David is down to 3, but he's just getting more cores at this point, and he does have a Scope Owl in hand, or on board, with Rocket City on the field, and he can core up that Rocket City, so every time Izzy draws, he is going to have to ditch unless he finds a Feral Slash, which I do not think he has in his hand. He's got a Core Theft, a Viper Dragon, a Shaznake, and a Dream Bomb, so... Looks like David is just coring up that Scope Owl and putting that Rocket City at level 2. So, like I said, if Izzy wants to draw, he's going to have to pay for those draws. He does draw straight into the Feral Slash, so there we go. Let's see it played out. Play that Feral Slash, baby. Yep, he's gonna pay 4 and Feral Slash the Rocket City. So the Rocket City is going to be destroyed. So if he does want to draw, he does have the ability to draw. And he's not playing the Shaznake, interestingly enough. He's got the cores to play the Shaznake. He's got the cores to core up the Lamorak, but he does neither. That's a little interesting. He does strong draw into the Emerald Sanctuary. Here, David does. Does he have the Alron in hand? That's the question. We did not see Alron at all last game, but, you know, he does have 4 of them in the deck. I don't think he sided them out. Like, I don't think you would not be siding out Alron at all. Let's see what Izzy does. He could play Shaznake into Black Lance here, because we did see him draw the Black Lance. So, I think, did he pay enough? Yeah, he paid 4 for that Black Lance. So he's going to just go ahead and pay for that Black Lance. I don't think he could have done Shaznake into Black Lance. But David is going to burst that Star Blast and draw more cards than Izzy off of Izzy's Black Lance. So that's a little unfortunate for Izzy, so. But we're going to have to see, does he play out the Shaznake, is the question. Or is he going to Core Theft? He Core Thefts the Scope Owl, dropping a Dream Bomb. That's interesting. I'm not too sure about that. But one of his spirits should be exhausted from that. I think it might be the Black Lance. Or does it just... Okay, it doesn't matter, because the Burning Force comes down because he paid the core off. So that's a little unfortunate for Izzy, but he does get to draw a card off of that. I honestly don't know about the dropping the Black Lance to 3k just to Core Theft a Scope Owl. I would definitely be saving that Core Theft. But we do have the Alron coming down for David. He is setting up that defensive wall. She ramps a core onto herself and the Emerald Sanctuary. We get another Alron coming down. And he has the cores to put the Alron, so I know he threw it down and just ramped the cores onto it, but he had the cores to be able to do it, so it's not going to matter. And then another Rocket City comes down, and he cores up that Rocket City. He says, nope, you are being taxed if you want to draw. And he's just going to swing with that 3k Alron, which, I mean, makes sense. Swing with the 3k Alron, deal a damage to Izzy. It's not going to be able to use its defense. It's a defensive ability anyway, so it does make sense. We do see another Viper Dragon. We see a Meduke in Izzy's hand. I think he's going to be playing this Rotting Swamp. Yes, he does play out a second Rotting Swamp. So he's got good draw here. He does have good draw, but each Rotting Swamp is going to trigger separately, triggering the Rocket City. So he does need to draw into another Feral Slash to get rid of that Rocket City if he wants to be able to, like, actually draw. He's going to pay for the Viper Dragon, and that Viper Dragon, I mean, it can swing at the 3k Alron, which I think I would do here. Even if you pull out a Beldegor, like, getting rid of those Alrons are important, but if David does bring out K, then it makes things a bit tricky. If he does go ahead and attack that Alron, and does David pull out the Beldegors? It looks like he's going to pull out at least one Beldegor. He does not pull out another. I think he might have K in hand. Nope, he's just going to Starless draw. He's digging. We see a Scope Owl in another card. I'm not sure what it is, but I do see a K in his hand. And he is paying 4 for the Black Lance, or 5 for the Black Lance, and he's going to draw 2. And Dave's got a stack hand. We do see him side in the Black Lance for this fight, the Black Lance and the Infinity Mothership. So it's definitely a good side on David's end. Izzy does have back drag in the side, and I do hope that he sided it in for this match, because if David's able to set up the Skadi Turborex wall, then if Izzy does not have the back drag, he's going to be in a world of pain. And he's letting David take him down to 2, but David's not cracking the ice shield, which is interesting. I think maybe I would have just gone ahead and cracked the ice shield, because Izzy does have 1 or 2 more ice shields in his hand, so cracking one of the ice shields would be important. But, you know, this is the situation we're at. So we are seeing a Meduke come down. We got the Snake Mommy coming down versus the Plant Mommy. So we do have some, we've got snakes on a plane versus this Plant Mommy over here on the other side. And that Meduke is, I think, 5 cores. So that Meduke can, I mean, it's a 6k, so it would kill the Alron. And if Izzy takes a core off of the Viper Dragon, he can swing at the black. Actually, even without taking a core off the Viper Dragon, he can still swing at the black lands. But if he takes a core off the Viper Dragon and puts it on the Meduke, the Viper Dragon now has Blood Curse, and he can swing at the black lands and start proccing Blood Curse. But he decides to just pass. I'm not sure about that, because like I said, he could have just swung at the black lands and not only killed the black lands, but procced Blood Curse and restood that Viper Dragon. So I'm not too sure about that play there. And Skadi comes down. Skadi comes down now. She's at level 3, and now Izzy must target that Beldegor with the Soul Core on it before he can target anything else, even with Viper Dragon's ability, because it is targeting. So Skadi's here, and the only thing David really needs is Turborex to completely, perfectly set up the loop. But he's like, yeah, I've got Skadi. You cannot target her right now. You've got to get rid of the Beldegor first. So I'm just going to pass. So David's in a very good situation. He's got the Mothership. He's got the Rocket City. He's got Alron for defense. He's got that Skadi down with the Soul Core on Beldegor. And Izzy needs to figure out what he's going to do. See, my favorite thing, because I've watched David play with the Skadi deck quite a bit, even at locals and stuff, and most people, they don't know what to do against Skadi. They just kind of start swinging. They're like, oh no, Skadi's down, I need to start swinging. And that's not the thing to do. That's not what you want to be doing. Simply because you start swinging and your entire field gets exhausted, exactly like Izzy is doing right now, and then your field gets bounced, and you get into this terrible loop of my whole field is bounced and I'm out of reduction. So you're spending every turn just trying to get the same spirits back on the field. So this Meduke is an 11k, and it's going to kill the Alron, but no Blood Curse is going to get procced. The Viper Dragon got rested by the Alron, which he should have swung with the Viper Dragon first. And there's nothing. He's getting his field bounced. Just wait for it. He's ending his turn, and the field gets bounced. So exactly, like I said, this is textbook exactly what happens to people. Is your field just straight up gets bounced every turn, and then you get absolutely rolled. We do see a strong draw coming down from David. We see another Emerald Sanctuary, a green card, maybe another Matan Goal, and something else. Oh, it's a Mandala that he put in the side. He's going to ditch a Smag and something else. Another Emerald Sanctuary is coming down. 7. I wonder if he's playing Mandala or if he's going to wait to the next turn. We see that Mandala in his hand right at the top. Is he going to play it? That's the question. He's thinking about it. David is certainly thinking about playing this Mandala. Oh yeah, he's playing it. He's playing it. He's paying the 8. He's dropping that Saga Rare Mandala, and he's going to mill 12 cards out of Izzy's deck. And David could just pay the core off of that Mandala and get it back with a K. Now the only issue with the Mandala play is it does pay the Soul Core, so Skadi does not have quite the same protection. She still has armor white in everything, but she does not have the same protection that she had. And he's just gonna pass on over to Izzy, and this is Izzy's time to strike, because Skadi is not level 3, so she's not gonna bounce Izzy's field. So if Izzy wants to strike, he needs to strike now, which he should not have done it last turn. He should have just set up last turn and then waited for David to do something, pay the cores off of the Skadi, which he did this turn, and strike. Now he's throwing the Meduke down again. He's putting 6 cores on her, so, you know, she's going to give other spirits with Curse Blood Curse. Does he have a Shaz Snake? If he has a Shaz Snake in hand, that would be great. He does not. It does look like he has a Black Lance and a Viper Dragon. So that Black Lance will cost 3. I would actually pay for the Black Lance here to draw some more cards. And you can swing with the Meduke here because she won't have full cores on her, but she herself has Blood Curse. So, and that Mandala is, what, a 4K? I'm not entirely sure. He does go for Thorn Prison? Why? Why are we playing with Thorn Prison? Meduke doesn't have curse. He's just gonna... What? What kind of a... And she gets Dream Bombed. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter anyway. David pays the cores off of that Mandala, Dream Bombing the Meduke, and Izzy's back down to nothing on field, even without Skadi having... and the K comes down. We are going to get that Mandala back in hand. We are going to get an Alron back in hand. He does have a white card, I think. We got the Beldegor. I don't think he has a white card in the drop. He does not have a Turborex or anything to drop. But he got those 3 cards back in hand, and he can drop the Mandala once again. And I think he's going to do it. Yeah, he drops the Mandala again, milling another 12 cards from Izzy's deck. That's rough. That is rough, buddy. Yeah, I really think what Izzy should have done is that on the turn prior, set up, done nothing, because there's no Turborex on the board. He doesn't have to swing. And then set up some more on this previous turn to swing in, so we would have a big board. But he did not. The Skadi makes people play bad. It really does. It just makes people play bad. So David does crack one of Izzy's Ice Shields, though he does have 2 more in his hand. But Izzy's deck is looking thin, and if David can pay cores off of this Mandala in order to put it in trash and get another K down on the field to pick this Mandala back up, then I think he might have game. Because he's already milled Izzy for 24, and if he mills him for 36, then it's over. We do have the Meduke coming back down, and like I said earlier, this is the loop that Skadi puts you in, is you get nothing on your field, and then you have to just pay all your cores to get everything back out because all your reduction is gone. So he's looping him, you know, he looped him with Skadi once, and then of course he's got 1,000 Dream Bombs in the deck. And now he's Mandala looping him. And yeah, this is great. And we do have a core drain coming down on that Black Lance, getting it into the drop, which David doesn't care about, because if he drops another K, he can just pick that Black Lance up out of the drop with the K. So he's like, sure, go ahead, get rid of my Black Lance. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's paying 3 for... Oh, he is playing the Black Lance now. Black Lance comes down. He's going to be drawing 2 cards, which I don't know about that, bro. I'm really not sure, but, you know, it is what it is. He's just trying to get some of the cards off of David's field. We do see the Deadly Balance come down, and I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he just swung first so we could get the draw off the Rotting Swamp, because at this point it doesn't matter. If he gets a Mandala, he gets Mandala. Like, you might want to just look for something else, but at this point I really don't think it matters. We got an 11k. We have an 11k Meduke come down and swing, and I honestly would have made it 6k, but I think K is just a 5k at level 1 anyway, so I don't think it matters. So it's back on over to David's turn. Does he drop? Yeah, he drops a Matangol. That Matangol is going to ramp him another core. Does he have another K in hand? He does not. He's just going to start. He's going to put the wall up. He's going to play the Alron, ramp a core onto her and one of the Emerald Sanctuaries. He's going to drop another Alron, ramping a core onto her and the Emerald Sanctuary. So here's the wall. He's like, you have barely anything in your deck left, and I'm just going to build this wall and put a core onto that Alron, and now Skadi's set up again. So he's just going to attack with Skadi. That's kind of... No, never mind. Izzy does not have the Soul Core, so it does not matter. And we are going to crack the ice shield once again. So Izzy has another ice shield, so it shouldn't matter too much here, but he's in a pretty tough spot. He does have 3 reduction on the board, which is pretty good, which is good for him, but I don't think he has many spirits in hand. Going to core up that Meduke once again. He does have the Viper Dragon, but the Viper Dragon cannot force him to... The Viper Dragon can't allow him to force attacks into Exhausted Spirits because that Alron has the Soul Core on it. Which if he would have saved his Beam Rifle, then he could Beam Rifle here and rest those 2 Alron, and those Viper Dragons could start swinging into them. But he kind of wasted that Beam Rifle. We do have another Ice Shield going down into the Burst Zone, and I think we're in a bit of a pickle here. I think he's going to start swinging, and yeah, he's going to swing with that Meduke, and then why swing with the Meduke? The Alron can, I don't know. David has a Beam Rifle in hand, so he's just going to Beam Rifle him, and then make him pick his entire field up. Yep, K2. We have the Beam Rifle. Izzy is going to exhaust his field, and that's it. He can just take the damage to the Void, and it'll be fine. David's ramped plenty. If he just takes the damage to the field, then to the Void, then he's good to go. Is he going to... What is he going to do? No, it looks like Izzy's not doing anything. It looked like maybe he was going to do something. But yeah, David just takes the damage to the Void. Flips the Ice Shield, going back to 3 because he has the cores in reserve, and he's going to pick up Izzy's hand. Once again, he ain't got no field. And it looks like we may just be, yeah, David is throwing another Ice Shield into the Burst Zone. And honestly, it's just a matter of time at this point before Izzy gets absolutely rolled. It's just a matter of time. He's swinging. Yeah, he cored up that Matangol, and he's just swinging. And Izzy is going to, he cracks the Ice Shield once again. Izzy's going to pay for the Ice Shield, and that's the end of David's turn. And he doesn't have to do anything at this point. Like, even if Izzy does draw another Thorn Prison, then it's not going to do anything because David can just rest his other 2 spirits, and his Alron is still, with the Soul Core, is still stood. So that core drain isn't going to do anything. He's going to have to core theft the Alron. And he does not have very many spirits he doesn't have many cards in his deck. And David's like, how many cards do you have in your deck? It's not 12, I can tell you that much. So I think David is asking because maybe he has another K in hand. So he wants to K Mandala him once again. The Meduke comes down again. We've seen this, 4 turns in a row now? 4 or 5 turns in a row now. Meduke comes down, then the Viper Dragon's going to come down, and it's not going to matter. It's really just not going to matter. We do have a Beldegor, which that Beldegor cannot target the Matangol because the Soul Core is on the Alron. So the Matangol doesn't even die because the Soul Core is on the Alron. And this is just so frustrating to play against once the Skadi player gets set up. It's so annoying. It's absolutely the most frustrating thing ever. And let's see what Izzy decides to do here. Is he paying 2? Does he have another Black Lance? No, he's paying 3 for the Viper Dragon. Okay. He's paying 3 for the Viper Dragon, and I mean, it's not like he can attack. He doesn't have the cores for Viper Dragon's level 2 ability. And if Izzy attacks here, that's the worst thing that and David flashes, he shows him another Dream Bomb. He's like, yeah, I got another Dream Bomb, so it's not gonna matter. Izzy should not attack here. Absolutely not. Izzy should not be attacking here. Yeah, he just passes on over to David. And do we see the K Mandala play come down? That's the true question. Does he have another K? It doesn't look like it because I think he would have just dropped it like right off the bat. He would have just been like, here's this K, pick up the Mandala, here's this Mandala, and then the game's over. But no, he's just attacked with the Soul Core Alron. That's interesting. He's attacking with the Soul Core. Oh, he has the Beam Rifle in hand, so it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. Izzy's gonna no flash, and then David is going to flash the Beam Rifle, I think, is what's gonna happen. But we do have a core theft coming down on that Elrond, but he can just pull out the Beldegor, so it really doesn't matter. The Elrond, those cores should be in the reserve, but it doesn't matter here. He just Thorn Prisons Izzy, and yeah, he's got game here. And we do see my 6-year-old niece giving Hugs good night up in the corner, and that is probably the best play of the series, is my niece giving Hugs good night. But David just swings in. Izzy has nothing else that he can do there, and David ends the game. He's like he said, he was looking for the K to pick up the Mandala again, because I think he really wanted to mill him out, but he wasn't able to. But yeah, that was a very, very clean 2-0 on David's end. Just putting Izzy in that loop of bouncing his field over and over again, it's so frustrating. So if you guys decide to build this deck, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be fun for your opponent once you're able to set up, but you know, it's a lot of fun for the Skadi player. Hope you all enjoyed. Deck links are in the description. I don't remember if I said that, so if you want to check the decks out, links will be in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Super hype. Leave a comment down below telling us your thoughts on this Skadi build. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.